Doom, 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 doom. What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. Monday, NBA Talk with Jay Money, and we got our guy Fiddle here with us. What's up with you, Fiddle? Everything cool with you, my brother?
I am doing well. Luka's in a Lakers uniform pretty soon. Fox is in a Spurs uniform. We got my dog Bronny chilling on the couch in the background. We got 10 games to talk about, 9 games if we don't give a shit about Wizards Hornets. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Yeah, and Bronny just got traded as well. Bronny James. No, I'm missing. They just traded Bronny James for Kyrie Irving as well, man. But I'm just bullshitting. But let's talk about it. Just a few minutes. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the guy to speculate what's gonna happen. I like to kind of see what they're gonna do when they're on the floor. You see what I'm saying? But let's just have a quick discussion. Obviously, we like to get to the games. We like to talk about some money, but this was a huge trade, one of the biggest trades in recent history. Everyone's asking me my thoughts on it, so I figured we'd come on here and talk about it for at least 5 minutes. Fiddle, what do you think? Luka to the Lakers, AD to the Mavs.
I think it's incredible for the Lakers. I think the Mavericks are probably the dumbest organization in all of sports. I think Rob Pelinka might have just won Executive of the Year in one swoop, and he's suddenly a legend for all of time after acquiring Anthony Davis, winning a championship, and then acquiring the next generational star, Luka Doncic. Aside from everything that everyone's saying in the mainstream about this, Jay, the one thing that I kind of feel differently from what the consensus noise is here, like, I actually wonder if the Mavs general manager, Nico Harrison, is like I almost wonder if he just is going rogue and wants to be the villain. Like, you see Jason Kidd wants nothing to do with this. You see him say that the ownership laughed at it. You see he doesn't care about the next 10 years. He only cares about the next 4. Like, everyone is pissed in the Mavs fan base. It seems like the players are completely shaken up about this. Like, I don't know what Nico Harrison was doing. It seems like he literally almost wanted to be a villain. Like, I wonder if he's a little bit narcissistic and a little bit fucked up and did this to become an enemy.
I have a very unpopular opinion. I think 90% of people saw this and like, oh, this is dumb. The Mavs are dumb. Let me tell you this, guys. They think on these decisions, and I don't think that it could just be him that would do that as well. Obviously, he has to go through ownership. Like, he's the GM, but you still have ownership of the team. Like, whether it's not Mark Cuban anymore, so they have new ownership. And you could almost argue that if Mark Cuban still had the majority owner, that he probably wouldn't have decided to let Luka go. Guys, the Mavs know. No, I'll tell you this right now. I don't like they said it. They don't think that they didn't want to go forward with Luka. And this is also as well. I think he's been playing professional basketball since he's been like 13 or 14, guys. We've seen this plenty of times. And we've heard it from guys like Andre Drummond say it as well. They get that big contract, and he thought he was good. He didn't have to work out anymore. He thought that he could play however the hell he wanted. So the Mavs saw something in Luka, and they literally chose to go a different direction. Now, is getting back AD the best option? At that point, I don't necessarily think so, even though I do think that, I mean, you have Klay Thompson, you have Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, Derek Lively, Anthony Davis. If Anthony Davis can stay healthy, I don't hate the trade for the Mavs. This could make them scary. AD could play the floor. He actually has a true center. Their bench is not bad as well. So while Luka you can't say, obviously he's a lot younger. He's 25 years old. First off, my guy is an absolute cone on defense. He comes in every single season out of shape. The Mavs are tired of dealing with that, bro. So I want people to understand something, that you can't just look at it like, oh, the Mavs are done for trading Luka. Obviously, they knew something, like they didn't want him on the team anymore. I'm one of the few people that feel like that they play better without Luka. The ball really sticks when Luka's out there. Is he an incredible player? Hell yeah. He's not even really in his prime yet, but Luka does not take basketball serious anymore. You could tell it. He doesn't work out. He doesn't want to lift weights. He doesn't want to come in off season in shape. Even when he gets injured, like he doesn't want to go through the whole rehab process, guys. So I just want people to understand that the Mavs thought this out. I think they probably should have tried to shop him to the whole league and see, because you could have got a much bigger return. But I just want people to understand this, that they didn't just up and trade Luka like you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we're just gonna take back AD. Like, they put thought into this, and they did not want to they didn't want him to be the future of their franchise. So that's why they did it. If AD can stay healthy, that's a huge if. I actually like the trade for the Mavs. How is it going to look on the Lakers as well? Luka and Austin Reeves backcourt. they're going to get hunted. The offense is going to be great. Defensively, backcourts are going to feast on Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. Last thing I'll say, Fiddle, hopefully he gets over there with LeBron, and LeBron has him like really working out. Like, because if you're surrounded by LeBron, you got to work out and stuff. So it should be maybe this is a wake-up call for Luka. But in Dallas, it was not connecting. We've heard him say stuff to the bench. Hey, you better challenge this shit. Like they're tired of his shit. I've seen it. I know them. I'm really close to the Mavs. I follow them really close. I don't hate the move because, like I say, maybe he's better off with the Lakers, but with the Mavs, it was not working out. He's never in shape. He does not take defense seriously. Doesn't even care about defense. I actually like the trade for the Mavs, man. Probably one of the 10% of people that actually feel this way. Fiddle, any thoughts or reactions to what I'm saying?
Can I give a quick betting opinion on that trade and how to play it actionably moving forward? I would look towards a lot of unders. As soon as AD hits the floor for the Mavericks, they're going to be so good defensively. So look for unders for Mavericks, look for unders for Lakers. Even though their defense is going to be a little bit of a sieve, they're going to get hunted and they're going to match up on their opponents. So it should slow the pace down in those games, running those pick and roll sets, running those isolations where you have a screen come and switch onto the right defender to get the matchup that you want. So I think it's going to be a lot of unders for both of those teams. And then there's already that game priced February 25th for the Mavericks and Lakers playing each other. Do not go bet anything on that game yet. We have still so many more games to take place before then. We need to get more information from both of these teams, from the injuries, from the market, from so much. Do not tie up your money. I'm always the one trying to bet early and get ahead of numbers, not 2 weeks early and getting ahead of the number that could change drastically if a schedule change, an injury happens, something here or there. Luka doesn't come back like we expect him to. Like, there are so many variables to that. I would never, ever, ever bet an NBA game 2.5, 3 weeks in advance.
No, that's a fact there, man. What do you real quick? What do you think about Austin Reeves and Luka backcourt? Ski thinks he's a huge Laker fan. I know he's probably. It's kind of crazy, but I feel like when a lot of people like see something, they're like, "Oh, this is dumb." Immediately, I feel like there's always I feel like most of the time that 10% is right than the 90%. It just because a lot of people ask me, like, bro, what's going on? This is stupid. You got to forget, you got back Max Christie as well. He's 21 years old. Hell of a defender. I think that the Mavs got a lot better defensively overnight. Like, just like that.
They got better.
They got 10 times better defensively.
And they got better in the immediate because Luka was hurt. So, like, if you're going for this season, okay, sure. Maybe they're a little bit better for this season if Luka wasn't going to be healthy, if they needed to up their seeding in the next few weeks because they're in, like, the bottom of the play-in race. I do not think Reeves is on the next flight out. I think he's completely untouchable in Lakers right now. I think they're going to try and make it work between him and Luka. And I think once LeBron is gone, you're hoping that Reeves is your secondary fiddle next to, pun intended, next to Luka, a la the way Kyrie's been an off-ball self-creator, secondary playmaker. I think they could definitely work together. You need defensive stoppers behind them, but I think Luka and Reeves will be fine.
No, that's a fact. Yeah, Lakers, they definitely, and in my opinion, their defense just got a lot worse overnight, just like that, man. But like I say, hopefully, I see what the Lakers doing. Obviously, you got to take Luka, but let's just say they better hope that LeBron gets to Luka, gets him to work out, because what the Mavs saw is that he's not serious about basketball anymore. He got a huge contract and he's living his life. And now they could potentially get even worse because you went from Dallas to LA. Now he can live his life even better. Y'all remember Luka Doncic? He out in the offseason, instead of working out, he had hookah bars and shit. Some of these guys I think it's very interesting to pay attention. Some of these guys have played basketball their whole life. Now they're millionaires. They want to actually live their life and enjoy their money. So it's different than some people that get there and continue to work out. So I just want to say that we'll see how it works out. I understand the trade from both sides, but I just don't think that the Mavs just got totally fleeced on this. Let's just put it that way. Well, one more here, Fiddle. Got the Fox to the Spurs. We've been hearing it. It finally happened. Fox and Wemby. I think it's going to be unfair. I'm trying to figure out who they're going to bump out of the playoffs, but I think that it might be a good spot to try and bet the Spurs to make the playoffs. I think obviously it's going to take them a little time to get things figured out or whatever, but I think this is a huge push for the Spurs here. They needed like that true point guard, and now because like Chris Paul was a great point guard, but he couldn't really push the pace. He couldn't run and gun with the guys. Now Fox and Wemby, I mean, they still were able to keep Vassell, Castle, Keldon Johnson still got the guy. I actually like the Spurs team quite a bit, Fiddle. I like the Spurs team quite a bit. What do you think about this trade, bro? Levine over there to the Kings. All that Bulls got a bunch back as well.
Yeah, I didn't have any crazy reaction to it. Obviously, it seemed like we all knew De'Aaron Fox was going to the Spurs eventually. I think the trade wasn't as much as we thought it might be because Rich Paul probably got the word out that Fox wanted to go to the Spurs, was going to wait until his contract up, and then eventually signed with the Spurs. So it really quelled other teams from getting in there. Like you would think Toronto maybe took a stab at Fox, but they took their name out of the hat. So it was really only Spurs. I think from the Kings' perspective, I don't think they got that much worse getting Zach LaVine. He's been fantastic. They tried to get Zach LaVine years ago and signed him to an offer sheet when he was a restricted free agent, and it was matched. So it's like, I actually think they have to get rid of DeRozan somehow and clear the logjam. But the LaVine Sabonis combo is not much different than the Fox Sabonis combo, and I actually think the Kings will be okay too.
Yeah, who's gonna run point guard now? I mean, what they're gonna have Trey Jones?
They're gonna have or no? I think Trey Jones got rerouted. Did he go to the Bulls? I think the that guy Keon Ellis, who's a very good defender, and he's kind of he's almost like your Casey Wallace type of guy, and then SGA is your Zach LaVine. No. Zach LaVine will be your like main ball handler and creator, and then Ellis will be your like de facto point guard who also guards the other team's best guard.
Yeah. They got to figure out the point guard situation. I don't like LaVine as the main ball handler. I don't like Keon Ellis as the main ball handler. Malik Monk maybe, but still not a true point guard. But we're gonna talk about Monk because I think Monk going crazy tonight. But
yeah, he's gonna do well.
Yeah, Monk is finna go fucking bonkers. But yeah, let's talk about some games, man. That's enough on those trades. The last thing I'll say, guys, we can look at names and all this shit. It does not matter. We got to see how they play on the floor. We're going to see if their cover spreads. We're going to see if this can make us money, man. Us thoughts and opinions and shit, that's not going to get you anywhere, man. I guarantee you. So I just like to see them get in the uniform, start playing, and let's see how the chemistry and stuff like that works out. Just the names alone, it doesn't matter. You got to see how they play, man. So let's get straight to it here today. Let's try to get this cash, man. First game up. Let's go over here to the streets of Detroit in this one. Pistons laying 4 points at the house versus the Atlanta Hawks. Fiddle. Hawks in somewhat of a tailspin in this one, could definitely use a big win. What do you think about this game, my brother?
It's an awkward schedule spot for the Pistons, but I just think it's perfectly priced, in all honesty. Like, I think at these current numbers, I wouldn't play anything. I think it's a Pistons number, but a Hawks schedule spot, so I'm a little bit scared of it.
Yeah, no, I don't. The Hawks have obviously not been playing well. They've lost 8 straight games. They have covered 3 of the last 4. They gave the Pacers a run for their money in their last game as well. Couple games before that, they gave the Rockets a run for their money, and then they gave the Wolves a run for their money as well. I believe a couple of those without Trae Young. Trae Young is supposed to play in this one. Don't know what they're doing with Bogdanovich. I guess he's supposed to get traded or something like that. Capella's still out, back spasms. He's probably about to get traded as well. I do want to say, guys, you never know when someone's about to get traded right before this trade deadline. Remember, the time is running out for these teams. They've been trying to move Bogdanovich and Capella, so that could happen any day. That's probably why they're out. I lean toward the Hawks here, though, Fiddle. I lean Hawks plus a 4. Mainly is because it's I feel like with the Pistons as a home favorite, they don't really do too well, in my opinion. Yesterday they got the job done versus the Bulls, which still kind of struggled in that game for spurts. But in this one, I just feel like that the Hawks can kind of match up well with them, man. This is also a revenge spot. They lost 114-104 at the house earlier this year as well versus earlier this season. That was January 22nd versus the Pistons as well. So now you catch them in a little back-to-back spot. third game in 4 nights. I feel like that the Pistons, in my opinion, when they're a dog, that's when they really ball. But now when you ask them to lay points, that's not their best situation. They're 4-6 against the spread when a favorite of 2.5 to 7. You look at the Hawks as a dog of 2.5 to 7. They're 8-4 against the spread. So I don't really want to lay the points with the Pistons here. If they were the underdog or like a pick, that's one thing. But if it's me, I'll be looking towards the Hawks plus the 4 in this one, Fiddle. Let's go over to the streets of Madison Square Garden here. Knicks land 6 at the crib versus the Rockets in this one, Fiddle. What do you think about this one?
The injury report scares me off of betting this so much. OG Anunoby out, Sengun questionable, Fred VanVleet out, Jabari out. I mean, there's just so many ways that this is confusing. Rockets also really tough schedule this week for the Rockets. They have the Nets tomorrow. So the front end of a back-to-back right here. They just lost to the Nets on their home court. So it's not like the Rockets are going to roll the Nets tomorrow. I mean, they should, but they also just lost to this team. So Nets tomorrow, then Wolves on the road Thursday, then a back-to-back Saturday, Sunday. So we're in a week, Jay, and like you're the best at this, where it's 5 games in 7 days for the Rockets about to start. Yeah. And so you have so many questionable tags. Normally it's going to catch up on the end of you, but when you have so many questionable guys, what's the point in making them go when you have 5 and 7 coming? Like,
yeah.
That I don't really know. Like, you'd want Rockets at 6.5 on the road, really, against any team in the NBA, especially Knicks without OG. But I don't think the Rockets are going to send a lot of their guys out there. So I think the questionables could go the other way against you, and you could end up being totally screwed.
Well, yeah, the only really questionable, we pretty much know who's playing. So Sengun is a huge question mark. Looks like Hart was questionable, but he's going to play. So I'm wondering who's going to run point guard here. Because VanVleet is out. He's already now. Obviously, he can run the team well, but sometimes I really worry about the Rockets' offense, man. Like the defense is going to be there, especially Amen Thompson, like absolute baller. They got dogs over there. This is the problem, though. So they do have a little revenge spot, a much easier game versus the Nets tomorrow, but they just lost to the Nets. See what I'm saying? Right. So you got a little revenge spot there, and it's Eastern Conference. I think they know that they're probably getting smacked up in this particular game, and then tomorrow they can come ball out, get, you know what I'm saying, take their frustrations out on the Nets. But I think the Rockets going on a little mini 3-game losing streak here, man. I don't see them beating the Knicks at the house in Madison Square Garden. This is their 5th straight home game. They're coming off of a loss. It's a double-digit favorite as well. They lost 128-112 to the Lakers. So they're in a bounce back spot. They're also in a revenge spot. The Rockets beat them earlier this season. It was early season, November 4th, but they still beat them earlier this season, 109-97. In my opinion, that was before the Knicks really figured things out. Well, they're starting to figure things out now. Will they miss OG? You damn right. But, I mean, shit, the Rockets, they're missing a starter. It could possibly be without Sengun as well. I actually hope that Sengun comes back in this one and drop this line down a little bit more. But I think that this is a Knicks spot, in my opinion. And one thing, Fiddle, you remember when Sengun went out last year and the Rockets went on this crazy covering like 22 straight games? I was like, man, they're going to need Sengun. They're going to need him. Man, he went out and they turned up even more. It was actually scary, bro, to be honest with you.
They also had an incredibly easy schedule during the time that no one wants to talk about. And Jabari was healthy, and then they moved Jabari over to the 5, which is very much that Ime Udoka defensive system.
Scary.
So they don't have the same outs in this regard that now, and they're playing tough competition, Knicks, then the Wolves. Then they have the Raptors playing really well later this week too. I do think in terms of props, and one angle for this game is Jalen Green's over PRA or his over points, because I think he's going to have to control the ball so much. And when Sengun sits and Steven Adams plays, you see a lot more screen and rolls with Jalen Green, where he's looking to score from that screen. Because first of all, the screen's amazing when it comes from Steven Adams, and the efficiency passing off to Steven Adams instead of Sengun dips. So look for Jalen Green to either create for himself, look to dish out to threes on the outside, but Jalen Green PRA or just points, I would take a lot of if Sengun is out.
Yeah, you better. The only thing is, though, Jalen Green can kind of fickle, Fiddle. You never know what you're going to get from him. But and if I'm the Knicks, I'm focusing in on Jalen Green and making the rest of the team beat me. But yeah, he's going to have to run
no OG and Hart is playing but banged up. So, I mean, he should have spots to attack.
Then you're going to see probably Aaron Holiday coming off the bench as a I don't like it, man. I'm sorry, I don't like it for a team that already struggles offensively. Like going up against a top tier defense like the Knicks at the house, a little bit pissed off. I would not be looking towards the Rockets in this one. If you like them, maybe take them now. They're plus 6.5. If Şengün comes in, obviously the line's going to go down. But I think that the Knicks are really starting to peak right now. They got caught. You know what I'm saying, versus the Lakers in that one, which that was, I mean, you never know what's going on with the Lakers, man. But they got caught and they got tripped up in a spot. 5th straight home game. They hadn't had to travel anywhere. I think the Knicks start this game off the right way. And I think they covered a full game as well, man. It's just the defense should smother the Rockets offense, in my opinion. They're going to need Dylan Brooks to go for 10 threes or some shit like that to keep in the game. I don't see it happen. I think this is a nice Knicks revenge spot. Man, let me pull my pants up right below my calves, man. Turn my pants into some knickerbockers. Let's go over here to the streets of Minnesota in this one, Fiddle. Wolves laying 5 at the house versus the Kings, man. What do you think about this one?
Wolves still take it. I think the Kings are going to be in a bit of a disarray after losing Fox. They're not going to have their guys back. They're not going to get Levine here. They're going to have a thinner rotation. You're going to be asking more from Malik Monk. I saw someone put in the comments, Jay, Malik Monk birthday tomorrow too. So look for that little usage explosion here. I think this is a resounding Wolves spot. We had the Anthony Edwards questionable tag. He's at shoot around. He's been sick, but he should be looking like he's going to go. I think this is a Wolves smash spot.
Yeah, let me
I
see.
played it early. I got a good number. I would still play it at 5.
This is my problem with this game, man. Obviously, so we had just saw the Kings have a little lull, right? They saw that Fox was about to be traded, and it was trouble going on in the locker room. The problem is now he's gone. Now it's like, okay, now that it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like, woo. All right, now he's gone. Now we can finally play again. You see what I'm saying? The bad energy, the guy that didn't want to play with us no more, he's gone. That's my problem here. The Kings have lost 4 of the last 5. Now, it is revenge spot because they beat the Wolves earlier this season, but this is the thing. So the Wolves are already without DiVincenzo, and then now they're without Julius Randle as well. Now, whether you like Julius Randle or not, the Wolves still needed him. You see what I'm saying? They still got Jay McDaniel, still got like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Naz Reid, still have great guys, but I don't know if I want to lay points with them without Julius Randle and DiVincenzo out there, man. And so, like I say, with the Kings, just like mentally, now you're over that hump. Now Fox is going. Now you can actually play freely. I'm not betting aside in this game. I do kind of lean Kings for whatever reason, but not enough to bet it. I'll tell you that much. But I think Malik Monk over 31.5 PRA. I think that's the spot here, bro. His ball's going to be in his hand. He's already a fucking baller, first off. Now he's probably going to be running more point guard, so more assists. You really can't stop him offensively, man. Like, you've been watching him. I really like his game, man, because he can do everything. Shoot threes. He can get to the basket. He can beat you off the dribble. See what I'm saying? So I really like Malik Monk in this spot. He could go for 30 points alone, but adding in the rebounds and assists, I would rather go with that, honestly, than try to pick a side in this particular game. But I know that the Kings are not necessarily that fade anymore. With Fox still there, knowing he don't want to be there, that's when they're a fade. But now that he's gone, now you can go ahead and move on. You see what I'm saying? So now they're going to be playing a little bit freely, but Monk for sure is going to be playing freely. I think over his 3-1, over 31.5 PRA is the best look in this game, man. Let's go over here. Any other thoughts, Fiddle?
I just was going to point out best lines for you. If you just want to play Monk only on points, ESPN bet over 20.5 minus 105. If you're looking PRA, like FanDuel has it minus 113 at the 31.5. DraftKings already has it at 33.5.
Damn.
So,
son.
FanDuel, MGM, Caesars, ESPN Bet, and Bet365 all have a 31.5.
Yeah.
But if you're at DraftKings, it's 33.5. Make sure you get your books. Make sure you get the best number.
Facts. Yeah. I think Malik Monk going crazy. He going for at least 25 points tonight. He has to. You see what I'm saying? He's got to, man. Let's go over to the street to OKC in this one. The in-season tournament championship rematch in this one. Thunder laying 11.5, though. That's a little steep in my opinion, Fiddle. Now can they ball with them? You're damn right they can. I guess you got to see maybe some injuries or something that the books know about in this. So we know that Jalen Williams didn't play in his last game. He's listed as game time decisions. So Casey Wallace, Caruso, and Jalen Williams are all game time decision. I think the only one that really matters to the spread, in my opinion, don't no disrespect to Casey Wallace because he's the baller, but I think Jalen Williams is the one that really matters to the spread. Maybe they know that he's playing, and maybe somebody on the Bucks is probably going to sit here. But this line was at 9.5, went up to 11.5. Fiddle, what do you think? Does OKC get some major revenge here?
I think it's very fishy and smelly if someone ends up sitting and you get like a late Giannis or a late Dame added to the injury. Yep. They had a late game last night against the Memphis Grizzlies, who play the #1 fastest pace in the NBA. So you have a loss, a game where they were playing till the end of the game, deep into the fourth quarter. The Bucks were winning by 10 in the third and then let the lead slip in the fourth quarter. And then that game ends late, and then they have to go on the road and go to a revenge spot against the team that they beat in the NBA Cup Finals. The line is just fishy here. I think it's tough to play at 11.5 if you didn't get in early. Under 232, I would expect to still be actionable, especially if someone pops up that justifies this going to 11.5 or 12. That means the total should probably come down to like 230.5 if someone does pop up. So I think under 232 is probably still a play.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't talk you off there. The Thunder definitely going to play the defense. This just like the Thunder have not been covering these spreads, man. They covered versus the Kings. We knew that the situation they were in. Before that, they were 0-4 against the spread and 1-5 in their last 6 before that Kings spot. So I don't know about laying 12 points with them unless Giannis or Dame is out. But Dame's probably happy that that Scottie Pippen Jr. or Wells is not on him here. Like, I know that the Thunder still got great defense, but he's going to be happy as hell not to see Scottie Pippen Jr. out there hounding his ass and Wells and hounding him the whole. Y'all see Dame's game last night? He had a horrible game. He can't wait to suit this one up, man, and lace him up and try to get back to his offensive ways. So only way I would play this with the Thunder is if Dame or Giannis is out. I think even if a guy like Middleton is out, I'd be taking the points with the Bucks in this one, man. Especially coming off they're off 3 straight losses now as well. So they're still gonna be in bounce back mode. Don't even have to win the game. Like you said, Books probably know something that somebody's out here, but if Giannis or Dame aren't out, I think it's too many spots in my opinion, man. I think the Thunder they starting to get ready for the All-Star break, man. I've noticed the team, they play every game like a playoff game. At some point, that shit is catching up with you, and that's what is starting to happen with the Thunder. That's just my opinion, man. So even though it is a revenge spot, the Bucks have shown if they come in and play top championship style defense versus Thunder, they can get the job done, man. So remember, they stunned everybody in that championship game where they had Thunder laying 5 points. So let's see what happens in this one. Definitely would be surprised if Giannis or somebody like that sat in this one. Let's go over to the streets of Utah here. Jazz getting 7.5 at the house versus the Pacers in this one, Fiddle. Any injuries on this one? I see the line start to go up right before the game.
I mean, the Jazz and their injury reportings are always to the last minute right now, and they rule out guys all of a sudden. I don't see really anyone. They obviously acquired PJ Tucker and Hood Schifino. Those guys are not going to be playing. They send out Patty Mills and Eubanks.
I forgot all
the
about
Jazz have been
PJ
playing
Tucker.
really fast. Like their pace and their 3-point shooting has been on the extreme. You like to try and back the Utah Jazz as long underdogs when they're home. You know, Jay, we like to talk about teams in certain spots, right? Mm-hmm. Pistons as a big road dog, give us that every time, right?
Yeah.
Jazz as a long home favorite is one of those spots that you generally try and play into. With the number going from 6 at some spots to now 7.5, you're playing the other side of that movement. It's ugly. It's gross. It's probably a complete stay away.
I want no parts of the Jazz, man. The Pacers coming off a game where they were kind of BSing around. I mean, I just feel like they could do whatever the hell they want versus the Jazz. Jazz also coming off a win. We've heard Lauri Markkanen come out and tip their hand like, we're not trying to win games this year. You do not want to bet on teams like that that's coming off a win. Now, obviously, they're getting 7.5 points. There's room for them to keep it close but still lose the game. But it's Pacers or nothing for me, man. This team has won 8 of the last 10. They're 7-3 against the spread, playing some of their best basketball of the season as well, man. So they are on the front end of a back-to-back. They got the Blazers tomorrow, but the Pacers should come in here and handle business, man. So it's Pacers are done. I feel like we probably should just lay the points with the Pacers and let the chips fall where they fall. I would not take the Jazz in this spot, man. When they off a long losing streak, that's one thing because they want to get a win every once in a while. But coming off a win, one no parts of them. They probably rest Lord Markin or some shit like that in this one. Nothing for me in this one. Let's go over to the streets of Denver in this one. Fiddle. Nuggets laying 10 at the house versus the Pelicans. Nuggets have not been playing great defense at all. And they were down their main weapon that's really been pushing them. Other than Jokic, obviously. Westbrook. You see what I'm saying? Because him with Jokic, they were going crazy. They were going stupid. Now he's out. What do you think? Should we lay double digits with the Nuggets in this one, or is Zion going bonkers versus this weak defense?
Zion's going bonkers. I couldn't imagine more of a spot to play Zion props. Thank you for setting me up so beautifully. I absolutely love all of the overs on Zion today. 33.5, 34.5 PRA. I'll play whatever number you can get. Best number there. 4.5 assists as long as it's better than minus 150 on the juice. 11.5 rebounds plus assists. 12.5 rebounds plus assists. Everything. I'll play any of it, Jay. Listen to the amazing Zion spot that we have here tonight. You have Zion saying he's healthy enough to play back-to-backs, and he's like, let me be clear. The Pelicans told me not to do it. So Zion's being like, guys, I'm actually pretty healthy right now. You get a game that's in Denver where the total has gone from 235.5 at the open to 241.5. It has increased 6 points in the total. We are expecting a high-paced game and a lot of scoring that should translate to a lot of stats. And lastly, Jay, DeJounte Murray out. Torn Achilles, done for the season. What is going to happen with Zion? He's going to be point Zion. He's going to have to do everything tonight. The Denver Nuggets have who's stopping Zion around the rim. The guy is going to fucking feast tonight. Every Zion prop every which way, split a unit up, just disperse it between PRA, RA, just assists, just points. I really don't care. I think Zion is primed to dominate tonight.
What's his PRA, man?
I played it at 33.5. I will pull up the best available odds right now, but honestly, the number's not going to scare me off of
30. It said 34.5. Yeah.
34.5 minus,
let me see.
DraftKings 35.5, 34.5 minus 120, FanDuel 34.5 minus 115, Bet 365 minus 118, Bet MGM minus 125, Caesars at ESPN Bet. And if you are stuck with DraftKings and only DraftKings, 35.5 minus 110. I'm okay with any of those numbers.
Yeah, now I'm looking at you. I like everything, man. Shit, rebounds and assists is at 11.5. He might go for a triple double on these motherfuckers, man. Is this game on national? Hell no, they don't have the Pelicans on national TV.
33-1 on the triple double. My eyebrows perked up, my eyes opened wide. I thought about it. You know me, I normally play something that's minus 600 before I play something that's 33-1, but I'm interested.
Yeah, no, I think Zion gotta go crazy tonight, bro. He definitely gonna have the advantage on the boards. They got his assist juice at Caesars over the assist minus over 4.5 at minus 194. So they got his rebounds and his 4. Yeah, for the you pretty much got to play 5 plus, but yeah, over 4.5. Yeah, his assist is minus 194, bro. Yep,
that's minus 145 at DraftKings. That's what I literally just said. If you could find it better than minus 150 on the 4.5, that's an angle I would play. Minus 140 like Bet 365 too.
Yeah, I like his rebounds and assists more because I think he's gonna be snatching the boards, all that. I really think this is a nice spot for Zion, man. To be perfectly honest with you, Nuggets 26th ranked defense over the last 5 games, man. I'm pretty sure you can go back even further than that. It's like 0-5 against the spread last 5. They beat the Sixers and they barely beat the Hornets. Hornets should have beat if people watch that game. Hornets should have beat the Nuggets there. The Hornets just so ass that they couldn't finish out the game, man. But they had like a 4-point lead, less than a minute left, and pissed the game away, man. So there's no way in hell I'm laying 10 points with the Nuggets right now. But obviously, Pelicans, I mean, shit, they're down bad. No Ingram, no DeJounte Murray. But yeah, Zion, you want to focus in on Zion. It's a really great matchup for him, man. Couple more games here, Phil. Let's get out of here. Let's go to the streets of Portland here. Blazers getting 5 points at the house versus Suns in this one. Do you think the Blazers keep it going, my guy?
No. I love the Suns here. Love the Suns. Probably my favorite one on the card right now. At 5, it's a little bit more difficult. Maybe it's now the time where you just take the money line on it instead. But this is such a Suns spot. It's ridiculous. This is the second game in a row, right? So they played them 2 nights ago, and Portland's been beating fucking everybody. Shout out Portland. Shout out Chauncey
8-0 against the spread.
Shout out Denny Avia from Israel. Shout out Scoot Henderson, looking like an NBA player finally. Like for real. The Suns in this spot, let's just really quickly. They were a -3.5 or 4 last game. They lose, and now they're a -5. Why would that be? Why would they be a longer road favorite in the same situation that they were 2 days ago? It's because no rest disadvantage, no travel disadvantage. They're, like a lot of these road situations you have to play in, you're like less rest, like you have to travel there. Neither of those. You have the exact same rest and travel disparity between the 2 games. You often see a switch in winter when you go when you have the repeat matchup, Jay. And more often you double down into that when the favorite loses the first game. Right? Now they're like, shit, we're the better team. We got to get up for this one. And so look for the favorite to come out swinging. I love the Suns tonight.
You get no argument from me. You said all the words I need to say, my guys. People that have been watching the show, they know what this spot is anyway, man. So no argument for me in this one. Let's go last game, Fiddle. Let's go over to the streets of Golden State. Warriors laying 3 versus the Magic. They might as well be the Maggots.
Right now,
I don't know what
they are.
I don't know what to do with this one, bro. I'm not gonna lie, man. We didn't talk about. I didn't have Spurs. Grizzlies,
Jay.
Hold on. What's going on?
Full circle moment.
Yeah.
What happens if the Magic got the call from Nico Harrison, and he's like, "I want Paolo and Suggs, or I want Paolo and Franz, or I want Franz and 4 first, or I want Are you kidding me?"
Shit, we taking it. They wouldn't let go of Paolo. They wouldn't let the Magic are hard-nosed guys over there. They wouldn't. Luka don't fit on their team, bro.
Just to let you know, Suggs did just get called doubtful in the last 4 minutes, and we are seeing this line move right now from Golden State Warriors. It was -2. It was hanging out at -2.5. Now we're seeing 3s and 3.5s pop up. This is a battle of who you could convince yourself to back more. These are both teams that make me want to throw up right now. The Warriors are playing horrendous. The Magic are playing horrendous. So it's like I can't find myself a way to back either of these teams.
And you don't want to bet the Magic without Suggs, because even though he's not really like a true point guard, they need him, bro. They need that's the Magic main problem right now. Bro, they just lost to the Jazz, bro. They lost by 14. They put up 99 points versus probably one of the worst defense in the league, bro. For real. They're 1-8 straight up and against the spread last 9 games. I don't know what the hell is going on. They got back Wagner, got back Banchero. It doesn't fucking matter, man. I don't know what's going on with the Magic right now. It might even be time to bet the Heat to win that division over there. Actually, I put a little sum on it, plus 250. Just, you know what I'm saying, a couple of bucks on it. You see what I'm saying? But I think that once the Heat get rid of Jimmy Butler, it's going to be the same thing like the Kings. Once they get rid of Jimmy Butler, now it's going to be their time to soar. And for whatever reason, I don't know what's going on with the Magic. Even when Suggs been playing, they've been BSing around. So, they only topped 100 points twice in their last 9 games. One of them was versus the Pistons, one of them versus the Heat, and that one went to double overtime. Some reason why they got to 119. I'm really starting to be worried about the Magic. We saw them with a high ceiling last year. I don't know what's going on, bro, because the Magic team from last year was winning with defense. They were able to do it with Banchero and Wagner being the ball handler. It's not working this year, guys. When they lost to the Jazz, that was a real eye opener for me right there, man. So I'm with you. I don't want to bet either one of these teams, man. The Warriors do have an advantage. This is their 6th straight home game. Hadn't had to travel anywhere. 6th straight home game, man. But this is the last game before they go out on the little road trip as well, man. So I want no parts to do with this game, bro. What do you think about the total? We know the Magic can't score and play great defense, but you think the Warriors, do they try to push the pace in this one and try to get it over 210? Because it's a super low total for the Warriors, but it's a Magic type of total. What do you think?
I'm glad you asked me, Jay. it's hard for me to talk about numbers when I play them early, but I'll walk through my thinking on this spot. I played a really early under on this spot, and it was 216 at the open, and now it's down to 209.5. It's moving lower with the Suggs news, right?
Yeah.
They're speaking to your point. The books are speaking to your point, Jay, that Suggs, even though he's a great defender, he keeps the Magic offense afloat, and he's actually very important for them offensively too.
Right.
However, with that being said, I actually think it's time to back the over. This is the time that I come back in, and I'm probably going to do my buyback and play for the middle in this spot and hope it does go over the 209.5, because if you have Franz and you have Paolo leading the break, grabbing a rebound and not having your point guard. So if you grab the rebound and you don't have your point guard, you initiate that break faster. The pace increases. You get probably more threes. You get worse defense on Steph Curry. I probably think it's an over spot at this point, but if you're looking at the numbers now and your book has a 210.5, wait a second, because all of the sharpest books are moving this down to 209. So I think you are going to get a 209.5 somewhere at like FanDuel, DraftKings, MGM, Caesars eventually, because right now Circa offshores are at 209.5. So I think it still comes down a little bit, but then it's going to be an overplay at that moment. Did we talk about Spurs Grizzlies, or did we?
No, we didn't. I had forgot about it. Yeah, I got to go to that one.
We got to talk about that one.
The Warriors, 5 of their last 6 games have went over. 7 of their last 9 games have went over a total. And also this particular total, 8 of their last 9 games have went over 210 points, man. The one game that didn't, and it was basically 210. That was the game versus the Celtics, where they only scored 85. So 9 of their last 10 games have went over 209.5, man. So for whatever reason, I feel like for a Warriors game, it's a really low total.
There we go,
man. So
Jay, Caesars has 209.5 minus 105 to the over right now. They just moved it.
Yeah. This might not be a bad look, man. And the Magic, they better try to start running and gunning, because they're walking the ball up the floor and shit when your offense is already not great. You got to get out on transition. Get out in transition, man. Damn. All right, last game. Let's go over to the streets of Memphis. Grizzlies land 4 at the house versus the Spurs. Fiddle, this is a double revenge spot for the Spurs. They lost back-to-back games versus the Grizzlies at the house. Now they kind of catch the Grizzlies in a vulnerable spot here, coming back off of a huge game versus the Bucks. Like you said, late-night game. Now it's a back-to-back with travel. You're coming back to the house. I don't know why I don't really have a good feel for this game, man. What do you think? Can the Spurs get some double revenge here? It's a tough one for me.
It's really tough, right? So here's the I think there's one interesting basketball thing, one interesting gambling thing. I have no place on this game. Let me just start off there. But the interesting thought here is that the Spurs just traded a bunch of their role players. Trey Jones gone, Zach Collins gone, Sissoko, I can't pronounce his name. He's gone. So if the Spurs rotation tightens, like, it's generally a spot when a team makes a trade, you look to fade them immediately. Like, I'm like, fade the Kings right now, play the Wolves, like grab your best Wolves number and play it. If you flip that, you think about it for the Spurs, what's very interesting is like their rotation tightens, but they kept everyone that's important. So it's like in this particular game, does Wemby play more minutes because there's no backup big? Does Castle play more minutes and Chris Paul play more minutes because there's no Trey Jones? Like, are Barnes, Vassell, Castle, Wemby, all of those, Sohan, are all those guys going to play a few extra minutes tonight? And in that case, like, maybe this is a Spurs spot going against the team that made the trade, because Memphis is on the second leg of a back-to-back. The number came from 6.5 down to 4.5. So the market's telling you potentially Spurs spot here. You have Bane popping up, a questionable tag this morning. You have Wemby questionable, but this line movement suggests that Wembanyama is going to play. So I think Spurs are nothing. I don't know if I can get there against this matchup on such a high total. I haven't done it. The basketball component, very interesting, Jay. Jaren Jackson Sr. You play for the Spurs, won a championship with Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Greg Popovich, and the Spurs. So nice little full circle as Triple J Jr. takes on for the Grizzlies tonight.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a great game. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see Edie. So down low, Edie and Wemby. Obviously, I mean, Edie probably weighs twice as much as Wemby, but on the opposite side, Wemby, Edie also can't guard him out there on the perimeter as well. You see what I'm saying? So they would probably have to use Triple J to guard Wemby on the perimeter because he would run circles around Zach Edey out there. So that's gonna be interesting. If Spurs are nothing for me, I still think this team is due to come up. I think they have a really great chance to possibly even make the playoffs as well at plus 475. Man, I really think it's they really have a great opportunity for that. But they've only won 3 of their last 10 games. I think that the Spurs are better than what a lot of people think. I think they're due to come up. I don't know if I want to take them versus the Grizzlies. I would definitely need Ja Morant. I'd probably need Ja Morant and Bane out for me to take the Spurs here. You see what I'm saying? Then I take, even if it went down to like +2 or +1 or something.
Worth the information.
That's a fact.
A worse line, sometimes a worse line, as often as we talk about getting ahead of the line, there are times where information is worth waiting for.
Yeah, and so Wemby was questionable last game, guys, but I'm pretty sure that was just because it was back-to-back Milwaukee versus Miami. I'm expecting Wemby to be in this game, simple as that. So we don't know if Ja Morant or Bane are going to play, though. But I think if you're waiting on Wemby, I bet that I'd go ahead and bet the Spurs now if that's what you're waiting on, man. So let's get out of here, Fiddle. What you liking for today, my brother?
Looking at all of the current numbers right now, I would say the under for Milwaukee and Oklahoma City, 232. You could get a Zion overs all over the place. I would still be willing to play a Phoenix Suns money line or a -5. The the Magic and Warriors over the 209, I would say is a very small play.
Okay. It's a lot of great games today. I think I might go with this Zion prop. I think I'm really liking that one, man. I'm liking that one, my guys. So I'm sure I'll be adding a bunch of plays today. I'm about to go hit the casino. I'm sure I'm going to be adding some plays. But for now, I think I'm going to go with Zion over his rebounds assists, over 11.5 rebounds assists, man. That's what I'm liking, man. But definitely going to add probably like 6 spots on the card for sure today. But we talked through all of them. We talked about the Zion play, man. We talked about what we thought on the trades, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit the like button one time for the one time, man. Shout out to Abby Sports Picks and Analysis. Say they like a San Antonio +4.5. Whatever you guys are betting, man, put this shit in the chat. Let's all try to cash together. What's up?
Can I tease one thing for the people?
Go ahead.
You happen to be hosting buckets tonight, right?
Yeah, I am.
Do you know who your one and only
every time?
Do you know who your one and only guest is?
I'm gonna be on there with you, Fiddle.
Just us, baby. Just me and you running it back 12 hours from now, talking tomorrow's numbers. Let's fucking go.
Let's do it. I think it's a good card tomorrow as well, man. But yeah, definitely first time hosting the Buckets pod tonight, man. One time for the one time. Y'all can go check that out as well. But definitely some great games on the card tonight. But yeah, we talked about that Malik Monk as well. I'm kind of split in between going Malik Monk over his PRA or Zion over his rebounds assists. But really think Zion goes over his PRA as well, man. The sides, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to wait for some of these injuries before I lock them in and go official, my guys. But yeah, man, that's the slate today. We talked about everything we liked, talked about our thoughts on the trade as well, man. Let's get these cash. We appreciate Fiddle coming on as well. Make sure y'all go and follow him on Twitter right now. You can also listen to the Buckets pod tonight, early morning as well. We'll be up at Action Network. We'll have some early looks for the Tuesday card over there as well. Go check out jmoneyismoney.com. Subscribe to the site. Let's get this cash. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hope y'all have a great day. Best of luck whatever you're betting. And we will win today, my guys. Let's go. Come on. Get this cash, baby.